Good evening, stock electors. Doug with Stacking Investments coming at you here. I know this video, I had to step outside and walk the yard and kind of do this video, get it out tonight. Watch the video from Poor Man's Gold, PMG. Did an awesome video. So it looks like he's getting back to the basics and core philosophy of why we stack. He brought up some points, some things I've actually been trying to get across on my channel. Is when I go to the coin shop, I'm looking for, I always say I'm selectively purchasing, like I'm rummaging through I'm not just buying willy-nilly out of the constitutional bin. I'm actually searching for dates to complete like some Benji collections or secondary Walker collection, or I'm working on my barbers and the dimes, quarters, halves. I'm selectively buying. I found some pretty cool stuff in those junk bins. I found a 32D Washington quarter, which is keyed 8 to the set, which helped me finish off my secondary set, so I didn't have to spend a fortune buying that coin. And if you watch my videos, you've seen some pretty cool finds that I've got. And it's all because I've never been just willy-nilly buying. A lot of times when I buy for a specific purpose. I don't just buy any old random coins. Because I think, part of my buying strategy, excuse me. Part of my buying strategy is to get that extra, run across stuff that has built-in value. You've seen me, I've shown some slab Morgans and some other Morgans I got where I did VAM searches and found some pretty cool VAMs that I still need to send off. And, they'd get the VAM on there. It adds another $100 to $200 value to the coin just for having that VAM designation. But anyways, so shout out to PMG, because he's bringing back to the core of why we stack and collect. And part of the philosophy when I got into it, or the main core reasons, and I've brought these up several times over my videos too, is you buy as close to spot as possible. The least amount of premiums. You do your research. Something you like, you look at all your possible purchasing venues and try to find the cheapest price. You want to buy reputable, of course. You want to buy from somebody reputable because you don't want to get ripped off with a fake. But you want to get out there and you want to do your homework. You want to do your research. Find that best price. Put a little effort. Another 5-10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Look around, see what's out there. Pick out the best price. Second core value of a stacker should be that silver is silver. So when you're stacking your silver, silver, get that best price. It all falls along together. Third part of the core value is don't go into debt. Don't charge it on your, unless you're using your credit card and you're going to pay it off. You pay your credit card off at the end of the month. That's one thing. Or you're getting your value points or whatever it is, bonuses you get for using your card. As long as you pay it off right away and you're not sitting on that debt paying interest, don't go into debt buying your silver or your precious metals. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just saying that's the core principles that used to be preached by all the mainstream channels, which I've been talking about recently. That I quit watching a lot of big channels because they've fallen short on those core principles, core values, the reason why you stack, and they've gotten away from that. And then I watched a video, AG Stacker, AG 1776, great video. He was talking about PMG's video also, and then he brought up the dollar cost average and everything. And I'm going to throw in a little caveat to that. And this goes back, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I always try to. If I ever step on somebody's toes, please let me know. But I'm giving credit to Gen X Collectibles. Gen X Collectibles was on a live stream. I don't know if it was his channel or if he was with the Don, Department of Numismatics. They were doing a live stream together, so I don't know whose channel it was. But Gen X Collectibles brought up a awesome point. And he just made a bold statement out there, and he said, yeah, I'm probably going to offend a bunch of people, something like, you know. But he said, just bear with me. He said, hear me out. And I'm going to paraphrase. I'm not going to get it exactly correct. But it stuck with me a little bit, and it made sense. For most people that stack silver, the majority of them say they're never going to sell. Or you're going to sell at a certain price point, say $50, which I'm going to touch on that $50 mark in a moment. But he basically stated that unless you're like a coin shop or you're buying and selling regular or whatever, he said, and you're in that hold mentality, that dollar cost averaging is bunk. And he pretty much did a mic drop. And it shocked a lot of people in the community or that were on the channel, because they're like, oh, no. I got to know what my dollar cost average is. He's like, hold on. And he's like, okay, hear me out on this. And he said, if you're in that mindset that you're buying, you're stacking, and you're never ever going to sell, then dollar cost average doesn't mean it's bunk. Because if you never sell, then what happens when you pass away and your stack gets passed on to somebody inherits your stack. Whoever inherits your stack, guess what their dollar cost average is? 0. So it doesn't matter if you paid $49 an ounce. If you never intend on selling, dollar cost average is bunk. There's no reason for you to track it, because whoever you will it off to or whoever inherits it, they automatically start at 0. So all you did was do them a favor. That brings me, and that's where dollar cost average, if you're never intending on selling, or you don't have some price point that you're willing to sell some of your stack while you wait for the pullback. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I'm stacking my cash to buy when there's a pullback. Okay, well, if you're anticipating a pullback, shouldn't you be selling some of your stack into the high prices and then use that cash, set that cash back with the profits, and when there's a pullback, buy back in so you can buy more than what you originally had? You know, you still are set inside of cash for waiting on a pullback, but you know, you're it's like people say, oh, my silver is going up in value. Okay, well, if you don't take advantage of that and there's a pullback, guess what? You left money on the table. How many times are you willing to leave money on the table? You know, that's why some people look at me and they're like, oh, I can't believe you're selling some silver. Well, I'm taking some profits and I'm reinvesting. I play the GSR. I've showed a couple of videos where I played the GSR with 120, what was it? I did it at 64 to 1. And then I turned around and I sold that gold. Well, I bought numismatic. I traded and I got numismatic, so I came short of getting a full ounce because the numismatic coins I bought fell short of being a true ounce. But I turned around a little while later and I sold those and bought back in, and I almost doubled the stack. Then I went from 128 ounces, and I not only got the 128 ounces back, I almost got another 128 ounces to boot with what I made off of that. So, you know, sometimes y'all got to do the math on this stuff. Those that say, then you have those that have a set price point where, well, I'm going to sell when it hits. I'm not going to ever sell it. I'll sell when it hits 50. Well, I guarantee those same people that say they're going to sell when it hits 50, I guarantee that if it hits 50, they're going to say, nope, I'm not going to sell. I'm going to move the bar. I'm going to wait for it to hit 75 because it went to 50. Nah, it's going to 75. So I'm going to hold. I'm going to wait for 75. Then let's say a miracle happens. It hits 75. Oh, no. It went to 75. It's going to 100. So I'm still going to hold. I'm not going to sell. Well, what are you doing? When are you actually going to take advantage and pull some profits? When is that going to happen? If you say you're going to sell at a certain price point, you already see, you can see the writing on the wall. Most of you that say, I'll sell at 50, I'll sell at 60. If it ever hits there, you're not going to do it because you're going to think it's going to go higher. So, rethink, reevaluate. I'm not coming down on people for whatever. It's just what I see within the community and stuff. But just wanted to get that out there. Be careful when you're using that. Be careful of depending a lot on your dollar cost average, because, well, let me add to that. Your dollar cost average, keep your dollar cost average low. Let's say you do have a hard target of, I'm going to sell when it hits 40. I'm going to sell when it hits 50. And let's say you are a person, let's say you are the mindset that when it hits that target that, you're not fooling around. You're loading up what you got. You're going to the coin shop or wherever it is, and you're going to unload your stack, and you're going to take off, right off into sunset with your profits. Let's say that happens. Brings us back to dollar cost average. If you are in that mindset that you're going to sell when it hits 50, and you're true to the word on that, you're not going to change your mind when it hits 50, then here again, dollar cost average is bunk. Because if you plan on selling at 50, then shouldn't you be buying all the way up? The fact that we're sitting at 26 now, why is that all of a sudden going to stop you? You're planning on selling at 50. You're never going to sell till it hits 50. Why are you stopping now? There again shows that dollar cost average for most people, not saying it doesn't apply to some, but for most people in this same situation, dollar cost average, as Gen X Collectible said, dollar cost average is bunk. There's only a few situations. Coin stores, people like me that are actually digging into their collections. I'm buying and I'm selling. I'm not selling everything. I've allotted a certain percentage of my stack and my collection that I'm willing to play with, to sell. I got goals going on, but if the price drops, I'm selling now. Price drops, I'm going to buy right back in. But for right now, I'm taking advantage. I'm selling my AS. I'm selling some ASEs. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not going to sell my ASEs. They're just going to go up. They're going to go up." Okay, well, and at the same time, you're complaining about the prices. Well, if they're going up, shouldn't you still be buying? I'm not saying that you should, just using all this as an example. But, just throwing a couple things out there to not conflict, not to fire back at, but just a couple points to make people think, think about what you're doing. If you're never going to sell, then it shouldn't matter. But I got to get off of here, so y'all take it easy, and I'll talk to you on another video.